All right, in this video, we are going to graph a quadratic equation using the TI-84 graphing calculator. It's super important to be able to do this, and it will be on future assessments, so I need to make sure that we are all able to do this fluently and understanding all of the tools that are in your graphing calculator. So the first thing that we do, if I were to clear out of here, let's hit graph clear, is to make sure that your graphing calculator is clear of any settings. So I'm going to ask you to hit the second button, plus 7, and notice that 7 is the reset, 7, and then we're going to delete all of the RAM, 1, and then 2. Now this is only on our school calculators. You don't want to probably do this if you have a personal calculator, okay? What that does is just make sure that anything from any of the other classes, any settings that have been changed are not in there still. So what we want to do is we want to get this equation into our calculator, and we do that by hitting that y equals button. And we do have a negative a value here. So we remember down here by the enter key, we do not use the minus symbol, we use the negative. And then I'm going to say 2 using divided by 3. And then the variable, of course, is here, right next to the alpha key. And then the squared key, you can either use this or you can use the to the button over here under the clear. So x squared gives me x squared here. And then plus 7x, and then of course we use the x here, and minus 5. Now when I've got that equation in there, I can check and see what it looks like by hitting that graphing key. And notice how the parabola is very intentionally, I built this equation so that when you go to a normal window, you can't see the whole thing. So let's go ahead and change our view of what we see. And that is found here at the window button. So I'm going to hit window, and notice it basically gives you, okay, your x minimum. Let's go back to the graph. My x minimum, I can see, I don't need to see further over here. So I can actually change my x minimum to maybe -3. The thing I do want to change, I want to see further over to the right here, and I want to be able to see my vertex. So I want to increase my y values and increase my x values in my window. So when I go here, I'm going to arrow down to my x maximum. I don't know, maybe I'll change that to 15. And my y's, I don't know exactly how large. Let's try 20, just to make sure I can see that whole graph. So that just increases. It's almost like setting up the graph. Ah, look at that. That's pretty neat. Okay, so I can kind of see the whole picture of where my graph is going to land. Now, to get that over here on my actual graph, here, now the only thing I'm really sure of at this point is this -5 is my y-intercept. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. If you remember from Math 2, that should be your y-intercept. Everything else, like, I have no idea, but I got an idea of what it's going to look like on the screen when I look over here on my calculator. So what I want the calculator to do is I want it to give me a table of values. So I'm going to hit second, and then notice the blue table right here. So anytime I hit the blue button, it's going to give me the blue business. So if I hit graph, I get a whole table of values there. And this, obviously, we have a problem because it doesn't give me any negative numbers. So if I go 0, -5, and then 1, oh my goodness, 1 1/3. So I could plot a point over here at over 1, up 1 1/3-ish, about right there, okay? So I can start to put some points, okay, at 2, 6 1/3, over 2, up 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 1/3. There we go. Over 3, up 10. Oh, that's handy. Over 3, up 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Oh, my graph is going to go off, and that's okay. 4, up 12 1/3. 1, 2, 3, 4, up, probably, is that about right there? 12 1/3, over 5, up 13 1/3, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, up 13 1/3. The trick here is to have a little bit of tenacity. Oh, over 6, up 13. Oh, that's interesting. So it's coming back down. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. And then up 13, that's going to be kind of there. So we see the general shape of our graph really happening, okay, when you get the multiple points from the table of values. Over 7, up 11, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, up 11 1/3. All right, there we go. Oops, I am not there. Okay. up 11 1/3. Okay, so we get a real good picture of what our parabola is going to look like. And this is what I am going to ask you to do. Okay, so I'm going to ask you to draw in your parabola with as many points. Now, for the sake of the video, I'm not going to keep going with the points. Oh gosh, that's terrible. Sorry. I'm trying to do this on the computer screen, right? I'm going to ask you to get as many points as you possibly can. So you would also try to get some points over here, okay? Don't just leave it like I'm doing it, but like I said, I'm going over 5 minutes here on the video and I want to keep going. Make sure on your video that you add arrowheads if it is a function indicating that our graph goes on forever and ever, and that you are properly using the table within your graph. All right, at that point, that's as far as I want us to go. Hope this helps.